chances are that you've been looking for a strong, juicy, distorted bass sound in your presets but couldn't find anything that grabbed your attention. Well, that's what we're doing today. And this is the sound that we're going to be designing today. Welcome to the Sweet Sound Sunday, where I teach how to design new sweet sound presets from scratch with virtual instruments. And today's sound is like you've been drinking hot chocolate with sand in it. It will be sweet and juicy, but also distorted and very hard to swallow. Sick. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump into the Ableton and see how it's done. Let's try to do it even quicker than the last time, but I can't promise anything. We will be using Arturia Pigments to design that sound. Okay, let's drag that into my MIDI channel. Now we have beautiful preset, but we're gonna go straight to the template, default. And what we're gonna need first, it will be wavetable. Which wavetable? We're gonna go to Pigments 3 blown square. Okay, that's one I like. Oh, let's quit here. Okay, let's adjust the position a little bit. Then we want to make a bass sound, so we want to go -24 semitones, so 2 octaves down on it. Okay, how does... Already better. Okay. Now we're gonna add a little bit of unison, but that we have to be very gentle with that. Let's just add like 125, no more than that. Yeah. Detune, I like just a little bit of a detune. So like, yeah, that's 0 is fine as it is. Then basically we'll just leave it as it is now. Let's adjust the filter. That's going to be LP24. Let's go down with the cutoff a little bit, and then resonance up a bit. Okay, that's fine. Engine 2. We're going to turn it on, but we're going to use an analog one. So for the analog one, we want a 2 of them. We don't need a third one. Let's bring the volume up a little bit on that. And this one as well, not 100%. First one can be this, and the second will be sine wave, but -12 semitones. Okay, so that's -1 octave. Sounds good already. Like as I told you, it's going to be quick. And then now, let's add a little bit of unison, but in a super mode. Let's mix it just a tiny bit, like 1/3, let's say. Less detuning, that's fine. Then we're gonna do chorus -12 because we're doing a bass sound, so we want to go in the lower sound. Okay, we won't be adding any FM modulation, so not to worry. And basically that part will be ready. Let's go back to the wavetable for a little bit, and we can add a little bit of the frequency modulation. And we're going to modulate with whatever is here, so the sine wave. We're not touching anything, just make it simple. Then phase distortion a little bit as well. Okay, now wave folding, let's do that as well. Around that will be fine. If you like this content so far, please consider subscribing. That helps a lot to keep me motivated and creating more sounds for you and more videos. And also make sure that you won't miss out on any other new episodes of the Sweet Sound Sunday and my regular weekly episodes as well. Okay, let's design some envelopes. But what we hear now are 2 sounds at the same time. We don't want that, or as we're designing bass, so we don't want any clutter in our noise. So let's go to the keyboard section here and change poly 8 to mono. Now you see when I press 2 notes at the same time, it's gonna switch. We don't need any glide, that's fine as it is. Okay, so the first envelope, let's drag release a little bit. not that much. Okay, perfect. We're gonna design second envelope and I'm gonna show you what to do with that later. That'll be fine. We're gonna use that for filter, cutoff and resonance, of course, as well. Then the envelope 3, we can design something slightly longer than that with longer release. And we're gonna be also modifying some filter parameters. We want 2 filters. First, multimode. Second will be formant filter, which adds like a talking sound. That's cool. Okay. And what we're gonna do with the second filter is we're gonna modify some values. Let's go bring that a little bit down. Let's bring that a little bit down. Let's add some volume to the filter. Okay, which always reminds me when I'm getting some louder sounds, I should put a limiter at the end, just in case, because you're already getting -214 decibels. So let's go to audio effects, dynamics, limiter, and drag it to your channel. Let's close that for a second. We're gonna set up the -1. Yeah, that's fine, just for safety. Let's go back to pigments. That sounds fun, but let's do something with the envelopes that we're designed, but we're not using them yet. So envelope 1 will be touching our cutoff. So let's add an envelope 2 to the cutoff a little bit. Now let's bring that down a little bit. That's fine. Gonna add some keyboard modification to that as well. So when we're gonna play lower sounds, the cutoff will be smaller. Then when we play some higher notes, the cutoff will jump up a little bit. Then we're also gonna be using the same envelope to modify resonance. So envelope 2, let's bring around the same value. Okay, that's fine. And then the filter 2 frequency shift will be changed by envelope 3 a little bit. Okay, that's cool. That part is basically done. So designing all the synths, wavetables, analog, everything is basically as it is. We won't be using that utility engine. So before we go to the effects section, we want to change some routing. So the wavetable engine will go a little bit to the filter 2 as well, like that. We're getting that gritty sound. Then the analog, the opposite. We're going to go mostly to the F2 and just a little bit to F1, to the filter 1. And then, yeah, let's go to the effects. And in the effects, first, we want to have that distorted. So let's add a distortion. Let's delete that. We can choose wiggle. That sounds good, but we want to have it even harder. So let's add a filter to that. Low pass filter. Okay, let's delete the reverb. Let's add another distortion. Let's go crazy with that. There we are. This will be a different type of transistor. It will be germanium. Okay, so let's modify dry wet a little bit. Distortion to around 70%. And you will just basically add both of the drive knobs to your liking. So whatever you like, let's That's fine. Let's add the low pass again. Turn it on. We can put an envelope on that or anything else basically. Let's do that. Let's add a resonance of the distortion one. So let's modify that with the envelope 3. Okay, and then let's design a quick LFO first, like a slow one. Let's slow that down. Let's do a free running. And then let's add this LFO to the cutoff frequency here. LFO 1. But just a tiny bit, that's fine. Let's do it. Let's do like a slow one. And we also want to sweep through a waveform actually. So let's go back to the wavetable and that position wavetable. Let's sweep that with the LFO 1. Here, LFO 1. That sounds not too bad, actually, quite cool. I like it. And that's most of the sound already designed, but okay. Let's add some more effects to that. Let's see how will that sound. Let's add a multi-filter. Then you can add macros to the cutoff or cue, whatever you like. Let's add it. Let's leave it as this. Then let's add a effects B section. First effect will be a compressor. Let's adjust thresholds so it triggers the compressor a little bit. Let's add makeup gain. Let's see if the rest as it is, that's gonna just do the job. Next, we want to add a chorus, Juno 6 chorus. Let's go down with the rate and dry wet a little bit down as well. And at the end, we can add some delay, but just a tiny bit of a delay. And make a ping pong delay. Of course, that's an optional, you don't need to do that. And our auxiliary, we have a reverb anyway. And we gonna just leave it as it is, that's fine. Okay, so if you want to adjust the sound, because it might not sound as you want it, the first thing we want to touch are the frequencies. So it's checked in the synth. Let's check the cutoff. Let's check the effects, both cutoffs here. Because sound can be a little bit muffled or can be like wide open. We can add that to the macro. Let's do that. Let's go to macro 1. Let's add macro 1 like that. Let's add macro 1 here as well. So we can open that. That's cool. And then yeah, that sounds fun. Let's add macro 2 on a wavetable position, going up. All the way up. And also opening a cutoff frequency here. So we can adjust the sound to our liking. Not too bad. Mod wheel can modify the same parameters basically as a macro one. So the cutoff frequency of the first drive filter, the second one, and we can push the drive a little bit. Even in this one. Yeah, let's see. Okay, that's cool. Okay, that's basically it. That's the sound we've created. Sounds really nice. Please consider subscribing and liking the video, that helps a lot. It keeps me motivated to make more awesome content for you guys. Also, feel free to comment down below in the box. You can post some new ideas of the sounds that you want me to design. Also, you can check the links in the description down below for all the gear I use, and I would 100% recommend. If you like this sound, you can check my other video from a couple of weeks ago about designing a dark, resonant, drony sound. That's a cool one as well. And I guess that's it from me for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video. Cheers. Subscribe and watch the next video.